What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love BMF, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about BMF Season 1, Episode 2. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to go over all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And as I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions, this episode brought a whole lot of different things, man. A lot of different things. We finally saw the aftermath after your boy Terry was shot. And Lamar definitely set up a whole lot of different things in this episode. He is trying to get closer and closer to regaining what he has lost. We saw that in this episode. And I believe in episode 3, we're going to see more of Lamar's game plan, his strategy, and if it's going to actually work. But we know your boy Meech definitely turned up in this episode. And, you know, it's going to be some consequences for what your boy B. Mickey did to J. Mo. So let's talk about it, man. What did we see in this episode? It begins off once again with a flashback, of course, with Meech and Terry being young. Meech is telling us who they looked up to, which was Detroit legends, the Chambers brothers, which is no surprise at all. We know these guys was legends in the streets. But we get a flash once again back to reality on what's really going on, and that is your boy Terry is still hurt. He is still in the hospital recovering from these injuries. And of course, Meech is like, look, I got to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't been to the hospital yet, so he has to get there to figure out what happened to his brother. He don't care who in his way. He is taking this Benz to the next level. He is going crazy, right? Now he walks in with the strap, and I'm looking like, man, this is going to be a bad idea to walk in this hospital with that strap. Now, luckily, Detective Bryant was there. Detective Bryant was there to able to, you know, calm this whole situation down because it was about to turn left real quick. Now, he tells him, look, just calm down. He's going to handle it. We know that Detective Bryant does help your boy Meech get J. Mo later on in the episode. But just imagine if Detective Bryant was not in this hospital at this particular moment. Meech would probably be locked up real quick, right? We know this. Now Meech goes in there, he sees his brother, he's leaking everywhere. It's not looking too good for Terry, man. Not at all. And like I told you guys, this event right here will change everything. You already know they was going to have to move completely different after this incident. And just think, you know what I'm saying, your brother get hit and you don't even know who did it. You don't know if they're going to come after you, if they're going to come after somebody else. I mean, you will be very paranoid. So now Meech is like, look, I need to find out who did this, but we need to move the stash. We need to continue to just look out and watch everything that we're doing. Shout out to your boy, Little Zane. He is in the BMF universe, man. He is here. And a lot of you guys have been talking about his character. He plays Saki. As of right now, he does seem like a loyal soldier and like he was really trying to figure out what's going on. And that's what Meech needs. He needs somebody like him in this organization. We're going to see how deep Little Zane's character is going to be involved as the season goes. But of course, we get to the parents, and they pissed off. And Meech already knew what time it was. He knew when he seen his mom and his dad that they was going to put all the blame on him. And you already saw it, man. Lucille was very pissed off. She says, if Terry does not make this, this is all on you. And I told you to stay away from him. And she said this in the last episode. She doesn't want Terry to be around any of this. But he is. At the end of the day, Terry is involved in all of this. Now, Meech understands what time it is. He's already putting a lot of blame all on himself anyway. So this is just more pressure to be put on his back. And he's eager to figure out who did this. So Meech pretty much just turns up. He turns up to the max this episode. Now we get to your boy Lamar. He said, you know what? Let me go ahead and go talk to J. Mo. Let me see if that offer still stands. We know in the last episode, J. Mo in the 12th Street, you know, boys, they gave him an opportunity to join the organization to make some money. And now J. Mo is like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You want to, you know, now you want to come back. I tell you what, how about you kick it with Slick? Y'all can hit the corners or whatever. But did y'all already peep your boy Flamil? He was like, I don't know about all that. He was like, look, this dude don't need to work for us. He don't even trust him at all. So this is going to be a problem for Lamar. Lamar is like, look, okay, I know what time it is. I'm going to have to get rid of this dude eventually. But Lamar, he had a game plan, and that was to infiltrate this organization, destroy them from the inside out, and then plan and plot to take down the 50 Boys crew. He wants to get back all his blocks. He's tired of these young cats, and he's trying to prove himself and prove that he can, of course, come back into the old town and take over once again. Then we get to your boy Kwame. And Kwame, he's looking like he's having the best time of his life. No worries at all until your boy Meech pops up to the party, and he's not playing around. Now, Kwame explains, like, look, he had nothing to do with what happened to Terry, that the things and issues that they had, it was just some school stuff. It was never that serious. But see, your boy Meech don't want to hear any of that. He's beating the crap out of Kwame. Of course, Kwame breaks all the way down. Meech understands, like, okay, it can't be this dude. You know what I'm saying? I can just tell just by his expressions and how he's talking that is not him. But he still, proceeded to beat him down because he's very upset about what happened to his brother Terry. And he's eager to prove to everybody that he's not going to just sit around and let this happen without responding. But now Meech has to keep digging to try to figure out who did this. Then we get to your boy Lamar, and he's kicking it with Slick. And we know that Slick's real OG name is PM. He was a part of Lamar's old crew. Slick explained that he had to join J Mo's crew because he didn't have anything else to do. He didn't have no product or anything. Once Lamar got locked up, it was pretty much over for him. So now, the two are plotting and planning. Your boy Lamar says, look, I heard that J Mo was the one that did this to Terry. Just put out the word. You know what I'm saying? So he's putting out false information, and this is what happens. Easily, this word gets out, and as you saw in the show, you know how quickly misinformation can get out there to the people, especially in the hood. So now everybody's thinking J Mo put the hit out on Terry, that he did this. It's just a matter of time before Meech learns about this information. And this is what Lamar wanted. He wants to start some commotion between J Mo and the 50 Boys crew. Now, we get to be Mickey and Kato, and they're in the process of moving the stash, the product, because of Terry getting hit. So they had to move to a different location. But I guess B. Mickey did not check this location all the way. He said that he did. And all of a sudden, we see Tyrone Biggums comes out of nowhere talking about this his house. And I'm looking like, dude, you need to go on, get up on out of here. Your girl Kato put him in his place. But Tyrone Biggums was up in here, y'all, living the good life. Talking about this some good, right? The boy had me cracking up. And now the product, is pretty much all over the place. And now they have to figure out what they're going to do. This is $6,000 worth of, product. And you already know Meech is going to be very upset when he figures out this happened. So we're going to see down the line what they're going to do to fix this problem. But like I said, Tyrone Biggums needs to be beat down. Then we get to your boy Lamar. He goes to Zoe's school, who he thinks that is his daughter, but it's really not. She tells him, look, I ain't even supposed to be talking to you like that. But we know Lamar, he's not all the way there. He thinks he can do whatever he wants to do. His whole game plan is getting back into her life, getting back into Monique's life. And that's what he's going to do. And he's going to continue to try to do that as long as he's alive, in my opinion. Now, of course, security has to tell him he needs to leave before he ends up getting arrested. So Lamar's like, all right, I'll leave. I'll get up out of here. Then we get back to B, Mickey, and Kato. And now Meech has arrived. And he wants to know exactly what has happened. And he's pissed off. He's like, man, I got to do everything by myself. It's always something, right? It's always something. He's pissed off that Tyrone Biggums is up in here. And he immediately kicks him out. He's like, look, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? You have to go. Plain and simple. This ain't your house. So, of course, Biggums is out of the picture. Now, B. Mickey and Meech go outside. They have a conversation. And B. Mickey explains to him that the word on the street is J Mo is the one that did this to Terry. And he's trying to figure out why, Meech was going to pretty much take out Kwame in broad daylight around people. And Meech has to explain to him, look, I don't care what time of day it was. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to do this to my brother. I'm going to check him, whether it's daylight or at night. Now, after this, Meech goes and he visits Terry. Terry, of course, is woke. And, Meech is telling him, look, he got to do what he got to do to figure out who did this. And, Terry is telling him he needs to just stick to business. Don't worry about all this street stuff. Stick to business and keep it like that. But Meech is like, nah, that ain't about to happen. You know what I'm saying? He cannot allow someone to shoot his brother and he does nothing about it. So, of course, Meech is motivated to, of course, figure out who has done this. But, you know what I'm saying? I believe he still took some of Terry's advice as far as, trying to stick to business, but I guess it did not play out the way he wanted it to play out. And your girl Monique, she goes and she checks Lamar. She tells him Zoe ain't, his daughter. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even your blood. I mean, she dogs the dude out, had me cracking up. Lamar, of course, he's hollering right back at her. He's going crazy. This dude, he needs to be watched at all times, and Monique needs to make sure she does not let her guard down. But based off the ending of this episode, it seems like your boy Lamar, he's going to ease in there. You know what I'm saying? He's going to ease in there, man. And I can see Monique getting hurt when it's all said and done. Now, Meech decides to, just talk business with Flamil. He says, look, remember that offer that I offered you guys in the very first episode? It still stands. Maybe we can work together. This is what Meech wanted to do in the first place, but we know it did not go the way he wanted it to go. We know that, of course, Terry pulled out his gun. The 12th Street Boys, of course, they did not agree to the terms that Meech was trying to do. But Meech is like, look, I'm trying to be like the Italian mob. If we come together with all of our resources, we can take over. But Flamil ain't trying to do that. So, of course, he has to end up leaving. And word got to the streets very, very quickly about this little setup that these two had, because we know B. Mickey brings it up when he's having a conversation with Meech. But hey, Meech was just trying to, of course, do things in a certain way where he can stop a war and, of course, expand the whole business. But I guess people did not agree. Then we get to your boy Lamar, and he is clapping some cheeks, y'all. He's like, look, man, I've been in the joint for 2 years. I ain't got time. Look, I'm not going to be picky. I'm getting it how I live it. Plain and simple. Now, your boy Slick tells him, look, maybe you know what I'm saying, a little bit too aggressive when it comes to Monique. Maybe you should be a little bit soft-spoken. Do something different in order for yourself to get back in good with her. So now Lamar's like, okay, I'll take that advice from you. And that's when he starts to write all these letters. And this is how he's going to get back close with Monique. As I told you guys, she needs to watch this dude at all times. But it seems like her guard is going to drop. Now, your boy Terry, he ends up falling out, trying to leave or whatever. I guess he wanted to find out what's going on with Meech and falls out. Of course, he has an infection with his whole injury and it's not looking too good for him. Then we get back on the block, and it seems like the 50 boys do not necessarily agree on how Meech is moving. Of course, the word around the block is J. Mo is the one that put out the hit on Terry. And they know about the whole Meech and Flamil hooking up. They don't like any of that. And they're like, man, will Meech look out for us if anything happened to us? Now, Kato and B. Mickey had to let them know, like, look, Meech has this all under control. He's moving the way he's moving for a reason. Y'all don't worry. Just sit back until we figure all of this out. Then we get back to the hospital. LaWanda is having a conversation with Meech, telling him that Terry has an infection with his injury. And, the family wants to know where has he been, because he just, left earlier on. So if you already know the parents, they want to know where Meech has been. Of course, Charles is like, look, I already know what you're on. You know what I'm saying? I know whatever you're doing has something to do with this whole drug stuff. Like, come on. Meech, at the end of the day, he has to handle business. And he ain't going to be sitting up in no hospital because he wants to go out on the block and figure out who did this to his brother. And he gets a call that his sister, Nicole, she is in E-course, which cannot happen, right? Now Meech has to leave once again, regardless of his parents wanting him to stay there. Then as he's leaving, B. Mickey is having a conversation with him, telling him that, of course, people know about him and Flamil meeting up, and that move was pretty much weak. that he has to do something to J Mo. He has to, take him out now. And Meech is like, look, I move how I want to move. And, people like you, trigger happy people like you mess stuff up for people like me. That's not about to happen. I want to make sure the person that did it, they get got. I'm not about to sit up here and waste my energy taking out somebody that didn't even do this to my brother. But I guess your boy B Mickey does not understand that. And Meech has to explain to him, look, this is my brother, not yours. He's trying to make Meech feel like he's soft for how he's moving, but I think it's very understandable. He's trying to move smart at the end of the day, and he's not trying to take out people that had nothing to do with his brother getting shot. Then we get back to the hospital, and Charles has some interesting questions for this doctor. He's like, what's going on with this whole infection thing? I mean, everything was good with Terry. Now all of a sudden, you guys talking about his vision may be messed up, and Charles is like, did y'all mess up or something? Because this does not make any sense. Of course, the doctor was like, man, well, anything is possible. He's not ruling it out, but he's not going to sit up there and say, well, yeah, we did mess up. And Charles is like, well, I'll tell you what, if my son does not come back with the proper vision, it's going to be a huge lawsuit on you guys because I'm not accepting the outcome. Then we get back to your boy Lamar, and I guess he has taken Slick's advice, which we already knew what he was doing, writing those letters, and it seems like it is working. Now Monique in her guard has broken down a tad bit. You know what I'm saying? She does not have that same energy that she had earlier on in the episode. She's starting to open up a little more, and she's having, a civil conversation with Lamar and wants to understand why he did what he did, and he explains that to her. And I'm going to tell you right now, Lamar's going to get closer and closer and closer to Monique until he gets exactly what he wants. Your boy Meech goes and he picks up Nicole. We know she was in E-Course. He does not want this to happen. We know Nicole and him had a very interesting scene together. Very emotional scene. We know Nicole, she's holding this secret about Terry selling drugs, and it's getting to her. On top of that, it's a lot of attention on everything else. She does not have the money for her whole field trip thing, and she's going through a whole lot of different emotions. Meech is able to calm her down. He gives her the money for the field trip, tells her, make sure she does not tell the parents about any of this. But he's here for his sister, man. He loves her at the end of the day, and he does not want all this pressure to be on her back, and that, everything's going to be okay. Hopefully that is the case, but she's definitely been going through it emotionally the last few episodes. I mean, her pops was all over her case in this episode, so it's very understandable that she's feeling the way that she is feeling. Now, we get to LaWanda. She's having a conversation with Terry, and Terry tells her he is not leaving the game because she wants him to stop. She's like, look, it's not worth it. We have a kid together. I mean, you got shot in the head. This is not looking too good for you. But Terry's like, man, this is what he's good at. He's not going to stop. He signed up for this lifestyle. And, he just wants her to be there for him. It's all going to pay off eventually. Maybe it will help out their kid down the line. So, this is something that they're going to have to agree with. He's not going to stop regardless of the outcome of him getting shot. And Wanda is still here to support. Then we get to your boy, Detective Bryant. And he's putting in that work for Meech. He's able to get J Mo, and he tells him, look, make sure you just scuff him up. That's it. The whole game plan was not to take him out. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is going to come back on Meech because now Detective Bryant's going to be very upset when he finds out about what happened to J Mo, and a lot of other people will be as well. Of course, J Mo's like, look, I did not do this. We know that Terry did pull out a gun on him in the last episode, but J Mo was like, man, I didn't do this at all. And Terry even thought, like, no way J Mo did it. You know what I'm saying? But Meech just wanted to scare him. He wanted to break him down. And I believe he wanted to get a little bit more information out of him. But deep down inside, he didn't believe J Mo did this. And you already know Meech was going to give him another opportunity to prove himself. But see, your boy B Mickey said, you know what? I don't have time for this at all. So B Mickey, the cool, calm, collected cat, said, you know what? I'm going to take matters into my own hand. And he lays your boy J Mo out. Takes him out. Now Meech is upset. He's like, look, dude, you done messed up. Everything I had set up, you just messed all that up. The two got into it for a little bit. But B Mickey's like, look, you just tell them you did it. You know what I'm saying? It'd be our little secret. So now we're going to see the consequences of J Mo being taken out. This is what Meech did not want. He did not want a war or anything like this popping off. But it seems like that's going to be the case. I guess that little rumor that your boy Lamar put out, it paid off, because now these are the outcomes of putting out false information. Now, we get back to Meech's mom, Lucille. She's telling him, look, she can't keep having him in the house if you're going to continue with this whole drug thing. And this is the last and final chance. And Meech is like, well, I guess I'm moving out because I'm going to continue to do this. And now she understands that, it's only so much love that she can give to her child that she has to step away. Meech tells his mom, look, just make sure you continue to pray for me. And, this is the sad reality. I mean, is this going to be what it's going to be? But Meech is like, look, I'm not stepping away from this game. Hell, Terry said, look, I'm not stepping from it, and I got popped. So it goes to show the passion that they did have for this game. Now we get to your girl, Kato. She's in there dancing. She's doing her thing. And we already know B Mickey want that. We already know B Mickey want to get up all up in those cheeks. But Kato's like, I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't about to do that. We work together, and you know what I'm saying, we need to be focusing on something else as far as this whole business. And I'm gonna tell you right now, your girl Kato still was kind of flirting with him, and she's like, look, I will stay, you know what I'm saying, with you. I don't want you being here by yourself. I already predicted that these two is going to probably hook up, and as of right now, it's definitely seeming like that's going to be the case down the line. Then we get to Terry and Meech. They're having a conversation, and your boy Terry's like, look, you kind of stormed up out of here last night like you was about to go out there and, handle some business. And your boy Meech is like, look, man, yeah, he had to go out there and handle some business, and that he was not about to let somebody just pop his brother and get away with it. It's just not going to happen. And that, their bond is very strong from the womb to the tomb, plain and simple. So we already know what Meech, what he's going to be on. Protect his brother at all costs, family at all costs. He's not letting any of that slide. We saw this episode. At the end of the day, we know it will be some more consequences that's going to come along their journey, especially in the very next episode. Of course, we end the episode off with, a lot of prayer. We have the mother praying for her sons, right? And they're going to need it. As Meech asks his mom to continue to pray for him, well, he's definitely going to need all of the prayer. Of course, we see your girl Monique. She is telling her daughter to make sure she prays for her daddy. You know what I'm saying? So now we're starting to see that, what Lamar did is working. As I told you guys earlier, I guess it's going to work because Monique is definitely dropping her guard. And the more she drops her guard, the more Lamar moves in closer and closer until he gets exactly what he wants. And it seems like his whole game plan is working on all levels. And speaking of Lamar, he says, you know what? I got to get that payback. And he catches your boy Flamil slipping. Sneaks him, beats him down. I mean, he's like a hardcore match back there. Now, for a second, I thought your boy Flamil, was able to counter. And I thought he's going to be able to get up out of this. But no, Lamar kept pressing the attack and ended up choking him out, beating him down. 3-minute trash can. I'm looking like, man, Lamar ain't playing around. I mean, this dude put out a rumor that was not true. Then on top of that, J Mo is pretty much taken out because of this false information. And then he goes and, pretty much beats the living crap out of Flamil. And it ain't looking like he's surviving. You guys let me know, do you believe this guy is going to survive? Hell, you just never know nowadays. But from the way that he was beat down by your boy Lamar and thrown in that trash can, that dumpster, it ain't looking too good for him, man. Your boy Lamar said, you know what? These cats want to take my corners. They want to take my girl. Well, I'm back in town, and I'm going to cause some problems for everybody. And that's exactly what he did in this episode. I guess mission complete. Mission was definitely complete for your boy Lamar in episode 2. In episode 3, we're going to see the consequences of what Lamar did and those consequences of what B Mickey did to J Mo. Will come back. Trust me, it's going to come back, but we're going to see how Meech and Terry are going to move. As I told you guys, Terry getting shot is definitely going to change a lot of ways that they're going to be moving. And we know in this next episode, they're going to have issues, not just with what happened to J Mo, but they're going to have issues with Pat. As you guys saw, it seems like Pat wants some money, and maybe it has something to do with that product that was spilled out when Tyrone Biggums messed everything up. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be more issues for Meech and Terry to solve, and I can't wait to see how it's all going to play out. But you guys let me know, man, what do you think about episode 2? Leave your theories, predictions, everything down below. We're going to be dropping the episode 3 what to expect video for you guys tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will continue to give you guys more BMF content in the future. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.